It's mostly because of Teresa and Nadia. I wanted to do a presentation for some of her team. We're going to do this on a regular basis, and as the teams continue to grow, the meetings are going to grow bigger and bigger each week. We may be holding the meetings here, but we are going to hold meetings, and they are going to happen on a regular basis. You just need to find out exactly where they are. So here we are. Everyone was invited to the Cooperative Crowd Funding meeting. I noticed you thought it had to do with Bitcoin. It does in a way, but we'll get to that in a minute. One thing is certain is that during this meeting, you will discover how to turn 25 euros into 972,573 euros every 28 days. Sounds pretty whack, doesn't it? Anyone in the room believe that? Awesome, awesome.
Could we do the lights a little bit?
So, the next question, obviously, hey, how you doing?
Could we do the lights? Because I can't.
Turn lights down?
No, for the bright.
Brighter.
Oh, brighter. Yeah, no, I think that's as bright as they go, actually.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
So the next question that I want to ask people is, who wants to make a ridiculous amount of money?
I do.
We all want to make a ridiculous amount of money, right?
Absolutely.
And on that first slide, I said I'm going to show you how to make that 972,753 euros in 3 steps. And it's just going to cost 35 euros to get started. Step 1 is to register. You already know how much it's going to cost, 35 euros. Step 2, like any business, is about duplication. So you're going to invite 3 or more friends. And it will behoove you to invite more than 3. As we all know, more than 3 people who need more money than they have right now. Step 3 is just simply duplicate. So once again, I'm going to say those 3 steps because it's actually mine. Can you turn those back on? Yeah, thanks, man. No one will see me unless I smile.
I got the joke.
I can't see none of the writings.
Yeah, that's okay. That's all right. So, I don't know where it was, but we're at the 3 steps, and that's how easy it is to get started. Now, when you join a business, whatever business that is, and how many in this room have joined a home-based business or entrepreneurs have their own business, right? Awesome, awesome. That's fantastic because that's what we all need to be. Now, a lot of us have joined some home-based business in the past. Yeah, can you shoot them? No, I love kids. Can you stop that recording? So
He wants you to delete that part.
yeah, no, that's all right. So as I was saying, so when you join a home-based business, you want to. Most people don't do any research. What they do is, they get an email from a friend. They got an email that's got a pretty picture on it, and it's got dollar signs, and it looks really cool. So they start following that pretty email. They start following their friends because their friends say, "Come on, I'm in." That's why we have a 99% failure rate in the home-based business. When I talk to people about joining a business, here I am, I'm standing up here in front of the room right now, and I'm explaining a business that I set up, and I still don't believe a single word I'm saying. Because I always like to have people do their due diligence. And you do your due diligence by going to the site, looking at the math, because that's the first thing you need to look at. If the math doesn't make sense, you're not going to be able to make any money. So look at the math, make sure it makes sense. Now, I have been doing this for a little while now. And I've been doing it with a great deal of success. The first business, which we're also going to talk about after I talk about Cooperative Crowd Funding for just a moment, that business has done almost $1 billion. Okay, just close the door. That business has done almost $1 billion, has over 660,000 paid members worldwide, and is in over 150 countries. That business is very, very successful. And I even stopped for 5 years to focus on this particular business. A lot of people say, well, if it did $1 billion, why would you stop? Well, I stopped because I could do better. And the better is what we're going to talk about here. As we continue to go along and you get to understand about Co-op Crowd Fund, it is the world's best, the world's first, and the world's most rewarding crowdfunding system ever. Now, its purpose is to give everyone easy access to much needed funding and to allow you to get out of debt, pay off your bills, pay off your mortgage, take a vacation, start a business, do absolutely anything that you want to do. And if you want to do something, almost everything requires money, right? And that's the biggest problem that most of us have. A lot of us here, we are very creative, we got awesome ideas. We even bring those ideas to focus, but we can't get them to that next step because we don't have any money. And that's what crowdfunding is for. Crowdfunding is actually a really interesting take. It came out after my initial business, which we're going to talk about in a minute. But crowdfunding is a 100% legal way for you to raise money for virtually anything. Now I ask you, how awesome is that, right? Right? It is absolutely awesome.
Beautiful.
But the problem with most crowdfunding systems, is everyone in here familiar with crowdfunding?
Yes.
Yeah? All right, yeah, GoFundMe, exactly, Kickstarter, Indiegogo, awesome companies. They've done billions and billions and billions of dollars every single year. But the problem with those businesses, which is the same thing that most people have with great opportunities, is that you need to have a vast network of people. You have to have a certain amount of skills, and you have to have a lot of time if you expect that crowdfunding system to be successful for you. As awesome as crowdfunding is, if you're a beautiful woman and you want a Louis Vuitton purse, all you have to do is smile and put your video up there, and somebody is going to give you the funds for that Louis Vuitton purse, because that's what crowdfunding is all about. You put a video up there, you talk about it.
Yes.
If people like it, they will donate to you.
I resonate to it.
If I put a video up there and I say I want a pair of Gucci shoes, that video is going to be up there for a long time.
Not true.
Right? No one's going to send me any money.
Women would.
Right?
Women
Nice
would.
one.
No one's going to send me any money.
That's not
So,
true.
and that's the same thing with the businesses. Like a lot of great businesses, like for example, you were talking to me about Bitcoin, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're also familiar with Ethereum. Ethereum raised $160 million using crowdfunding, right? So crowdfunding works, but you have to have that draw. You have to have the people. Like if I wanted to pay off my mortgage for $250,000 and I had 250 friends and I went to each of them and I said, hey, listen, I want to pay off my mortgage. Give me $1,000 each. They're going to look at me and they're going to think I was smoking something, maybe had too much to drink, maybe fell and bumped my head or something. They're not going to give me that $1,000 each because they're going to say, I need to pay off my mortgage, right?
Mm-hmm.
So those are the drawbacks of traditional crowdfunding. Cooperative crowdfunding changes all that, literally changes all that, because what we've done is we've made it possible for anyone to raise all the money that they want in 3 simple, doable steps. Now, as I was saying, if I go to my friends and I say I want $1,000 from each of them because I want to pay off my mortgage, they're going to tell me no. But if I go to my friends and I say, hey, listen, I joined Cooperative Crowdfunding because I wanted to raise funds to pay off my mortgage, and I look at them and I say, is there any purpose that you need money for?
Wow.
Right? You're going to say yes. They're going to say yes. Because most of us have some need, whether it's to pay off bills, whether it's to start up a business, whether it's to take a trip around the world, whether it's to get a case of beer.
Some quest.
Right? We all have a purpose for money. You can do it using cooperative crowdfunding because your fundraising efforts are conducted in a global fundraising cooperative. So My last business has 660,000 members in it. Cooperative Crowd Funding will dwarf that. So we're going to have people from all over the world contributing to everybody's cause.
That's powerful.
By helping as few as 3 people, imagine, by helping as few as 3 friends can allow you to raise all the money that you would ever want and need. Does that sound pretty crazy?
Yes.
Right? Like, who would think that by having 3 friends, you could raise all the money that you'd ever want and need, and it's only 35 euros to get started? It's also subscription-based. Now, that's really a key. How many people in here bought a house and only had to pay the bill once? Right? Right? There's no bill that we have that you only pay once. You pay these bills every single month. Whether it's your telephone bill, your mortgage, your insurance, whatever it is, you pay it every month. So if you go to GoFundMe and you raise funds for whatever purpose, what are you going to do next month? So we have a subscription-based crowdfunding platform. So everyone's paying a little bit into it each and every month, and we're all going to get a lot out, as you're going to see in a few moments. You receive funds every single week. So when you get started, you can receive your funds every single week. And those funds are sent to your e-wallet. And once they're into the e-wallet, you can have them sent to your bank, have them sent to your debit card. They're your funds, so you can send, it's like having an online bank. Now check that out. Financial success can be achieved in just 3 minutes a day. As I continue this process, you're going to find that everything that we do here is in 3s.
Yes.
It's no more than 3s. It's not 9, it's not 20, it's not 7,000, it's 3s. Everything is in 3s.
Incremental
3 minutes a day. I'm going to show you how we can do that in 3 minutes a day. Does anybody pick up a newspaper or go to Kijiji or, Freelancer or one of these places and find a job that says, work 3 minutes a day? Right? It's just, it's not there. So no matter what your experience level is, no matter what you're doing right now, we're going to allow you to be able to be successful in what we're doing here. You go at your pace, is what I like to say. You go at your pace because it's not a race. You do things the way you want to do them. There's no experience, as I said, required. We provide you with an absolute turnkey system. This system that you're going to see, it's been in development for 15 years. There's pieces, I kept building the original first online business that I have, and it's pieces that keep getting better and better and better, and that's the system that you're going to be using. So it's not something that, I fell out of bed one day and I thought, wow, crowdfunding, that's kind of cool, and I put a business together. No, this is a very well thought out business. Everything that you're going to see here has been put together to benefit you.
Age line.
As you know, how many people have ever joined a business where the owner actually thinks of you first?
None.
Anybody? Right? Right?
Never.
The owners always think of themselves. That's why so many of these companies fail, because they're put together. What the owners do is they go and they find 3 or 4 hustlers, and then they get those 3 or 4 hustlers and they pay them a lot of money so that they can extract all your money, and then you're left holding the bag. I can tell you for a fact that everything that you see here, each piece of this puzzle is designed to benefit you. Every piece of it. Because it wasn't all that long ago, I was sleeping in cars. I had nothing, and it was my last $8 that helped me to go from, sleeping in cars, still walking around like a millionaire though, but go from sleeping in cars and use my last $8 to turn it into what we're looking at today.
Thank you, Dave.
And you're welcome. And that's why I understand what it's like to be you and you and you and you and you. I know what it's like to be poor. I know what it's like to be rich. I know what it's like to be poor again. and rich again. So, I've done the gambit. And anyone who says that, if you're rich, you're just going to be unhappy, they ain't never been rich. Because the way it really works, if you're happy when you're poor, you're going to be happy when you're rich. If you're unhappy when you're poor, you're going to be unhappy when you're rich, right? So it's not money that causes your happiness, it's you, right? So happiness, like almost everything else in life, is a state of mind,
Indeed.
right? Because like I said a few minutes ago, when I had no money and I had to walk all the way from Scarborough to downtown for that meeting that turned my life around, when I walked into that room and I sat and I talked to the presidents who just spent hundreds of millions of dollars putting this program together, I said, I'm your man. I want the exclusive rights to sell your product. I didn't get the exclusive rights, but they did allow me to sell it. So everything that's part of this business is for you. It's affordable, right? Like if you live in Texas, Timbuktu, Tokyo, Ukraine, Bogota, no matter where you live, and even in Toronto, because we're all, a lot of us, we don't have money even to get the basic needs right now.
No.
So I made it so it's affordable for everybody. I've also made it, and I don't recommend this, but even if you have no money, you can get started for free and make money. It's a little longer route, but I did make that as part of this process because I want everybody to win.
That's good.
Second part is that it's easy to understand. You heard those 3 steps, right? It can be explained. And I keep saying these 3 steps over and over again because I want you to understand that's all there is to it. Register, help 3 or more, teach duplication. 3 seconds, and I can tell you the whole story of how the system works, right?
Wow.
And hugely rewarding. So we talked about this a few minutes ago, you know, how most businesses have a 95% failure rate. How many people have done MLM in the past? Right? How many people were successful in MLM in the past? One and a half.
He got back his money.
He got his half.
He got back his money.
Nah, that's amputee.
Oh.
Cut my body off, man. You talking about?
They broke your hand. I understand.
Well, you know what?
Yeah.
It's not surprising because MLM has a 99% failure rate. Does anybody know what a success in MLM is?
Being the first in.
No, that's not an success.
Oh, sorry.
A success in MLM, but it's, you know, that's what they try to tell you. A success in MLM is someone who just gets their money back. Right?
That's it.
You know, you start a business and you feel you're successful. If you put in $500, you get $500 back. You feel like you're successful. What's up with that? Right? Now, my question is, imagine if somebody came up with a business for those 95% of the people that failed. What do you think would happen?
A cushion?
Vacuum.
We would have a very successful business, right? Because if we build a business for the 95% of the people that fail, we got a very big marketplace. That's why I say I built this for you. Because I built it for the people that don't understand how to make success. It doesn't mean that those people are bad people. It doesn't mean that they're not intelligent. They weren't brought up to be entrepreneurs, right? So if you don't know how to do something, and you're like, if somebody says build a car, and they give you parts for a bike, are you going to be able to build a car? Right? Right? So that's what it's like being an entrepreneur in today's world. You know, you went to school so that you could get a job and work 40 hours a week. You weren't trained for when you lose that job and you don't have a replacement. So I feel very fortunate. I don't know how I come up with these ideas. Well, I do know how I come up with these ideas, and I can tell you it's not just me. Right? Because this idea that we've got here right now is the perfect business. It really is the perfect business. And I said that we're not MLM, and we're not. Because MLM sucks.
Yes.
Who wants to be a marketer for all their life? Right? Nobody wants to be a marketer. I want to make money. Right?
Yes.
So, just like before cars, there was horses and buggies, and people were resistant to get into those cars, but they eventually did because it's a better idea. We're going to change the landscape. We're not going to do multi-level marketing because we don't want to be marketers. We're going to change it. We're going to call it the United Income Systems. United because we are going to work together. In this business and in future businesses, we're going to become united. We're going to work together because it's much better if we work as a team than if we work as alone, right? And how many of you would love to have the opportunity